The hardest part of any journey is not the distance, it's the silence. When you decide to chase your dreams alone, that silence becomes louder than any noise in the world. It's in those quiet moments that your fears begin to whisper, "You can't do this." It's in those still nights when doubt creeps in and makes you question everything, your choices, your worth, your direction. But let me tell you something beautiful. Silence is not your enemy, it is your teacher. When life takes away the crowd, the applause, and the comforting voices, it is giving you a sacred opportunity to finally hear your own. We live in a world where we are constantly surrounded by opinions, judgments, and expectations. Everyone wants to tell you who to be, what to do, how to dream. And in the middle of all that noise, we forget what our own heart sounds like. The moment you are left alone is the moment you can finally listen, not to the world, but to yourself. When I was forced into stillness, I realized that silence can be the most honest companion. It doesn't flatter you, it doesn't lie to you, it simply shows you who you are. In that stillness, you meet your truest self, and that encounter is not always comfortable. You begin to see your weaknesses, your fears, your scars. But you also begin to discover your strength, your resilience, and the light you carry within. Don't be afraid of being alone. Don't run away from it. Embrace it. Because when the world gets quiet, your soul gets loud. That's when you start to remember your dreams. Not the ones people told you to chase, but the ones that were born inside you. That's when you start to rebuild, not from what's left behind, but from what's still burning within. We think we need others to validate our journey, but the truth is, validation comes from alignment. The day your heart, your mind, and your actions begin to align with your truth, you stop needing anyone's approval. You stop searching for motivation outside because you found it inside. You become your own source of energy. So if you ever find yourself in a season of silence, don't fill it with noise. Don't rush to escape it. Sit with it. Feel it. Let it teach you. Let it guide you. Because silence has a strange way of preparing you for the sound of your own voice. It molds you, refines you, and gives you clarity. And one day when you finally rise, you'll realize that it was never loneliness. It was growth in disguise. And that's when you'll understand the silence was never empty. It was full of answers. Pain has a way of entering our lives uninvited. It doesn't knock, it doesn't ask permission, it just walks in, rearranges everything, and leaves us wondering why. We try to push it away, to pretend it doesn't exist, to cover it with smiles and busy schedules. But pain has a purpose. It doesn't come to destroy you, it comes to awaken you. Every scar you carry, every tear you've shed is proof that you have lived, that you have felt deeply, and that you have survived moments that could have broken you. When life hurts, our first instinct is to ask, why me? But what if we changed that question? What if instead we asked, what is this pain trying to teach me? Every wound carries a lesson, a hidden message that shapes us into stronger, wiser, more compassionate beings. Sometimes pain is the only language the universe uses to get our attention. It shakes us so that we can finally see what truly matters. There were moments in my life when I thought the pain would never end, when I believed the darkness had swallowed every bit of light inside me. But slowly I learned that pain and power are twins. They are born together. The same fire that burns you can also forge you. The same storm that knocks you down can teach you how to stand tall. It's not about avoiding the pain, it's about transforming it. You don't need to forget what broke you, you just need to build something beautiful out of it. We often believe that strength means being unshaken, being fearless. But real strength is not the absence of pain, it's the decision to keep moving through it. It's waking up every day with tears still in your eyes but saying, I will try again. It's standing up when your legs are trembling and whispering, I am not done yet. That's the kind of courage that changes lives. When you learn to embrace your pain, it becomes your teacher. It teaches you empathy. You start to see the pain in others and you understand it. It teaches you gratitude. You start to appreciate even the smallest moments of peace. And most importantly, it teaches you that you are far more resilient than you ever imagined. So don't hide your scars. They are not signs of weakness. They are medals of survival. Each one tells a story of how you fought your way through something that tried to break you. Wear them proudly because they remind you of your strength. You see, life is not about escaping pain, it's about transforming it into purpose. Let your pain make you kinder, let it make you braver, let it make you unstoppable, because once you turn your pain into power, nothing in this world can defeat you again. That's when you'll realize your pain was never punishment, it was preparation. There comes a moment in everyone's journey when you look around and realize no one is coming. The people you thought would hold your hand disappear. The ones who promised to stay get busy. The world keeps moving while you're standing there, waiting for someone to help you take the next step. And that moment hurts. It feels unfair, it feels lonely, but it's also one of the most powerful moments of your life, because that's when you discover what you're truly made of. We grow up believing that we need constant support to move forward, that someone has to believe in us before we can believe in ourselves. But life has a way of stripping all that away, leaving you face to face with only one person, you. And when that happens, you have two choices. You can give up because no one is cheering for you, or you can stand up and become your own biggest supporter. When I stopped waiting for people to save me, my whole life changed. I realized that no one can understand your dream the way you do, because it was not given to them, it was given to you. People can guide you, they can inspire you, but they cannot walk your path for you. Sometimes the journey demands that you take the first step alone so the world can see how serious you are about your purpose. It's easy to feel sorry for yourself when no one shows up, but instead of asking, "Why isn't anyone helping me?" start asking, "How can I help myself?" That shift in mindset turns your weakness into strength. You stop depending on motivation from others and you start generating it within. You stop looking for hands to pull you up and you start building wings to lift yourself. That's when you start living life on your own terms. And yes, it's uncomfortable. It's lonely. There will be nights when you'll question whether you're capable of doing it all on your own. But that's the magic of solitude. It reveals the warrior within Wa. It teaches you that even in your weakest moments you can still rise. You learn to trust your instincts, to believe in your ability to find solutions, to build courage where once there was fear. When you stop waiting for support, you start becoming the support you need. You begin to speak kindly to yourself, to motivate yourself, to comfort yourself in moments of doubt. And with time, you realize that you are not as alone as you thought. You have you, and that's enough. Because the truth is, no one can fight your battles for you, no one can dream your dreams for you, and no one can live your purpose for you. This is your life, and you are responsible for creating the strength it needs. So when no one shows up to cheer for you, don't stop. Stand taller, work harder, prove to yourself that you were always capable of walking alone. And one day when you look back, you'll smile and whisper, "I did it, on my own." Comparison is one of the quietest thieves of joy. It sneaks into your mind without warning, whispering that you're not enough, that someone else is doing better, that your progress is too slow. You scroll through people's lives, their smiles, their success, their perfectly curated moments, and somewhere inside a voice begins to say, "Look at them, and look at me." I've been there. I've stood in that place where every achievement felt small because someone else had done it bigger or faster. But then I realized something powerful. Comparison is not a measure of failure. It's a mirror showing you what's possible. We often forget that everyone's journey has its own timing, its own rhythm, its own struggles hidden behind the curtain. We see people's highlights, not their heartbreaks. We see the destination, not the distance they walked to reach it. And yet we judge ourselves against what we see on the surface. But life isn't a race. It's a journey of becoming. What's meant for you will never miss you. And what's not meant for you will never stay, no matter how hard you chase it. When you look at others, don't do it to measure your worth. Do it to remind yourself that greatness exists, and that if it's possible for them, it's possible for you too. Let other people's success inspire you, not intimidate you. Let their stories remind you that the world is full of opportunities waiting for those who dare to believe. When you shift your perspective from jealousy to inspiration, comparison stops being poison, it becomes fuel. You see, the moment you stop competing with others, you start competing with your past self. And that's where real growth happens. Every day becomes a chance to be just a little better than you were yesterday. You start valuing progress instead of perfection. You stop trying to outshine others and begin to outgrow your fears, and slowly, without even realizing it, you begin to bloom in your own season. Each one of us has a unique path, a purpose designed just for us. And the beauty of that purpose is that no one can take it from you. You may feel like you're behind, but you're not. You're exactly where you need to be for your story to unfold. Don't rush it. Don't compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. The journey is not about how fast you get there. It's about who you become along the way. So the next time you find yourself comparing, pause and remind yourself that someone out there is looking at you the same way, wishing they had your strength, your courage, your light. We are all walking each other home, each on our own path, each carrying our own lessons. And one day when you finally reach your destination, you'll look back and realize you were never behind. You were just becoming ready. We live in a world that celebrates big wins. We see the trophies, the awards, the grand announcements, and we think that's what success looks like. But what we often forget is that those big moments are built on countless small victories, tiny, almost invisible steps that no one applauds, no one sees, and no one talks about. The days you get out of bed when you don't feel like it, the moments you choose to try again after failing, the quiet decisions to keep going even when no one is watching. Those are the victories that shape who you become. So many times we wait for something huge to happen before we allow ourselves to feel proud. We think, once I reach that goal, once I have that job, once I make it there, then I'll celebrate. But life doesn't work like that. Growth doesn't happen in leaps, it happens in steps. It's the accumulation of small efforts, repeated day after day, that turns dreams into reality. Every small act of courage counts. Every moment of consistency matters. There were times I felt like nothing was changing, like all my efforts were going unnoticed. But over time I learned that progress is not always visible, it's felt. It's in the strength you build when you refuse to give up. It's in the calmness you find when things go wrong. It's in the faith you hold on to when everything feels uncertain. Those little shifts inside you, those tiny victories, are what prepare you for the bigger ones that lie ahead. The truth is, life isn't a constant upward climb. It's full of pauses, plateaus, and even setbacks. Some days your victory might just be getting through the day without breaking. And that's okay. You're still moving forward, you're still growing. We underestimate the power of small steps because we're too busy waiting for the finish line. But the finish line is built by those very steps. Celebrate the little things, the chapter you wrote, the menas eat, aisle you ran, the conversation you had, the fear you faced, the morning you got up when you didn't want to. Every small victory is proof that you're trying, and trying is always enough. Because when you start recognizing the small wins, something shifts inside you. You stop focusing on how far you have left to go and start appreciating how far you've already come. And one day, when you finally reach that big goal, you'll look back and realize it wasn't one giant leap that got you there. It was every small step, every small victory, every small decision to keep going when it was easier to stop. So don't wait for the world to applaud you. Clap for yourself. Smile at your own progress. Because success isn't about the destination. It's about every little victory that carried you along the way. And in the end, you'll see that every small step you took was never small at all. There comes a time when you have to look in the mirror and realize that the person staring back at you is the one who will make it happen. Not the people you wish would help, not the ones who said they would stay, not the ones who once believed in you, but you. The world can tell you 1,000 times that you're not enough, and if you start believing it, you'll begin to shrink to fit their version of who you should be. But the truth is, you don't need the world's approval to build your own destiny. You just need your own belief. So many of us spend our lives waiting to feel ready, waiting for someone to validate us, waiting for a sign that it's okay to start. But what if that sign is already inside you? What if you were never meant to wait for permission, but to create your own path? Believing that you are enough is not arrogance, it's acceptance. It's the quiet confidence that says, I may not have everything, but I will make something out of what I do have. When you believe in yourself, something shifts. You stop chasing validation and you start chasing growth. You stop trying to prove your worth and you start living your purpose. You begin to understand that self-belief is not about thinking you're perfect. It's about trusting that you're capable of becoming better. It's about knowing that even if you fall, you have what it takes to rise again. There was a time I thought I needed people to tell me I could do it. I thought their encouragement was the fuel I needed to move forward. But when that support disappeared, I discovered a deeper truth. My belief was the only constant I had. When everything around you fades, belief is the voice that says, keep going. It's the hand that lifts you when no one else is there. It's the anchor that keeps you grounded when the waves get rough. You see, the world will always have opinions. People will always have something to say: too much, too little, too late, too different. But their opinions cannot define you unless you hand them the power to. The moment you decide that you are enough, exactly as you are, you stop living from a place of lack and start living from a place of purpose. You start seeing your flaws as part of your beauty, your scars as part of your story, and your challenges as part of your strength. Believing in yourself doesn't mean you'll never doubt again. It means that even when doubt comes knocking, you'll still choose to move forward. It means you'll remind yourself that you've come this far for a reason, and you won't let fear decide your future. So stand tall, speak kindly to yourself, trust your journey, because the most powerful thing you can ever say to yourself is simple: I am enough.